What's going on, world? It's your boy OG Mambo.
And your guy D Money. Join us along with Pint Size Patron and ID Yourself.
Here on Fresh Juice at Rainier Avenue Radio.
Every Wednesday hump day from 9 to 11 Pacific.
Get exclusive interviews from your favorite artists, all the hottest music, and updates on what we got going on in the world.
Here go the first song.
I don't think they understand me. No, they don't seem to realize. I wear a smile cause it's handy. You see it from the state of my eyes. I'm a joker inside. I'm a joker inside. I'm a joker inside. I'm a joker inside. People don't seem to understand the type of man I am. When I say I got your back and things go down, I be that man. That would lay it on the line for a homie I would call my friend. Scrapping side to side, from up to the very end. But lately I've been noticing people don't really think like me. Or they would understand the concept of loyalty. But the lack of respect is something that's really bugging me. I remember when fools used to get checked, but I guess it's bugging me. So that's the reason I wear a smile in this day and age. Cause people can't seem to see how much my mind is furious. So I just continue to perform like a monkey on stage. But the animal's ready to break free from this motherfucking cage. Lord, please, can you help me? Cause I think I'm going crazy. Everyone I used to love is treating me just a little more shady. All the memories of good times I'm starting to feel just a little more hazy. All I got left is to laugh it off before I'm pushing down. I don't think they understand me. No, they don't seem to realize. I wear a smile cause it's handy. You see it from the state of my eyes. I'm a joker inside. I'm a joker inside. I'm a joker inside. I'm a joker inside. What people can't seem to see is I'm an emotional man. When I feel disrespected, take matter in my own hands. But when that happens, they look at me like they don't understand. I'm a crazy fuck, just look at me, I'm that type of man. When I seek peace, I want peace. And when I feast, then I want a feast. Motherfucker, I wanna press my buttons, then cry when I unleash the beast. But the passive aggressive motherfuckers are the ones that I like the least. I feel a little crazy. It's time to vote for People don't give a shit about a broken man, but it needs to cry. That's why I learned to crack a smile, even when I'm dying inside. But to think that I kinda weak, cause the tears that flood my eyes. But if that's what's true to feel, go ahead and cross the line. You can never comprehend the kind of shit that happens to my open mind. But if you were the bitch, yeah, pull the trick, quit wasting my fucking time. Cause I might just need a joke, just see what I can find. And keep moving forward, and leave my pride behind. I don't think they understand me. No, they don't seem to realize. I wear a smile cause it's handy. You see it from the state of my eyes. I'm a joker inside. I'm a joker inside. I'm a joker inside. I'm a joker inside.
Fresh Juice, Rainier Avenue Radio, fresh off the bat, man. That's the Joker right here. By conclusion with a K right there with your opening song on tonight's edition of Fresh Juice on Rainier Avenue Radio, hosted by the Juice Pack, including myself, D Money.
Pint Size Patron.
You know what it is. OG Mambo, ID Yourself. Will complete the four. Should see them later on in the program. But yeah, man, as always, new hip hop, new R&B. And that joint just opening up right there. I had to show the little poster real quick. That's the poster for the Joker. One of our guests of the evening, the duo from Definition and Infinity Media, Conclusion, and Spade will be joining us live here in the studio, man. So looking forward to chopping it up with them. I believe Patron, it's their first ever interview, man. So
Right.
Yeah, you know, those are always fun, man.
That's what Fresh Juice is for, man.
Yeah, it's a Fresh Juice exclusive.
Fresh squeeze.
And man, also joining us from Minneapolis, Mally joining us. And I remember getting hip to this guy so long ago, man, when he first started collaborating with Rhyme Sayers artists like Atmosphere and them, and yeah, very talented MC. He has a new album out that's called The Sweetest of It All. So
it's Mally, not Molly.
yeah, well, you know, I get everything wrong. So we'll
ask him.
we will ask. But yeah, man. That's the show as well. Of course, Fresh Juice is syndicated on our friends over at Blazin' 420 Radio. Shouts out for them re-airing our shows. Oh, and here's another member of the Juice Pack, OG Mambo.
There we go, man. We locked in. Let's get to it, man. Big shout out to Blazin' 420.
Yeah, came right in with the syndication. All right, man. Follow us in all of our platforms. We got the Facebook group there, facebook.com/group/Fresh Juice Media. You can go and follow us on Facebook. Follow us on IG, X, and Twitter at Fresh Juice Media. And then on X and Twitter, we actually live tweet the playlist and tag the artists so you can learn more about them. And of course, YouTube, subscribe, youtube.com/@Fresh Juice Media. Go put that up in your phone or your laptop right now. Get it set up, man, because there's a lot of Fresh Juice content for you throughout the weeks. We do live shows for you almost every week, and then you can watch them whenever you want. And of course, we do shorter clips on the daily, some shorter YouTube shorts, if you will.
Shout out to the subscribers, man. We tripled our subscriptions this year.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah, we definitely love that. So go ahead and put your subscription in there as well. Obviously, it's free to do that. And even if you ring the bell on YouTube, it'll give you all Fresh Juice content first before anybody else will notify you whenever we do drop something. And we'll have something for you every day, at least a short. So, yeah, all that stuff right there on the youtube.com/@Fresh Juice Media. Just put up in your browser, you search and it'll take you right there. We appreciate everybody tuning in the comment section. Miles Salvador is always showing love.
Thank you, Miles.
Yep. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're also broadcasting on Twitch and on Instagram. So go ahead and show us love in the comment section throughout the program as we continue to do things the way that we do. But one thing we like to do when we start is to take a look at 1 year ago on this show. And when we were concluding 2023, obviously this is the last show of 2024. So last show of 2023, we had Seven the Panther on the show. And, of course, he had a lot of good stories for us. But one thing he had to say was one time when he had to rap with a wet stage. This is what he had to say about that.
Me and Superstition did a show in North Carolina with Cesar Comanche, Legacy, cats from the Justice League. They knew that we coming on after them. They knew this. And we all supposed to be homies. The whole time they rapping, they got these big water bottles in their hands with no caps on them. And they just, and I'm looking at the stage like, yo, son, we gonna die tonight. Also, it was the same night I met Rhapsody. So, like, she rapped with Cooley High. Then the cats from Justice League came on. Then we come on after them. Me and Super standing there like this, rocking on the stage. Like, I'm scared to move too much.
Slippery.
I'm 6'3", dog. I don't need to be falling on the stage.
What's going on?
Shout out to Seven, man. I think he's dropping something here soon, too.
Yeah, and also shouts out to Harp for making some of the clips that you see on our shorts that we make. It's
shout out to Harp.
Great Creations, GR8, and then the _ creations. You can go follow them there. All right. We're going to get in our guests, and everybody is ready to go, Mambo. So if he's ready to go.
Hold on. Let's make sure we queued up and ready, man. So we got in studio, out studio, man. What do we want to do with, man? You know, I think it's only right, man, that we get it started with those who are present with us right now, live and in the flesh, man.
Okay.
So tonight, we have got in the studio, mark it up, last show of the year. Add another tally, because we got my dog, Mally, in the building, man.
Oh, no, he's remote. He's in Minneapolis.
Oh, my goodness. That's what we did it backwards. Let's run it back. Reverse. Live and in studio, man. Live and in studio. We have got Conclusion and Spade in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise.
Yeah, there we go.
Going down, guys.
What's good, fellas? Good to have you in studio, man.
Good to be here. Yeah.
All right, now let's go remote. Let's go
Now we're crossing state lines. We're doing what we need to do, man. We're gonna learn about it all, man. I got some questions about what goes down at Bracket Park, man. Who is really the sweetest of it all, man? We got a lot of questions, man. Now you can add another tally for that boy Mally in the building, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, what's good, Mally?
Yo, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Welcome to the show,
man. Blessed, man. It's another day on Earth, man.
This is funny. He's like, I did it backwards. So
is it Mally or Molly?
It's Mally.
Mally, gotcha.
Yeah, but depending on the geographic location, like a lot of New Yorkers, they say Molly. It just runs off.
Yeah,
a little smoother with that accent.
Yeah,
I'll blame it on that then.
Yeah. Blame the East Coast.
Shouts out to the Chef Beats from Riverside, Cali.
Yeah. Thank you.
I believe they were actually produced that opening joint, The Joker.
Yes.
By conclusion. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's have some fun, man. Let's get right into our game. All right. We like to call it, of course, Take Your Pick. Woo, we went high on that one. All right, really easy to play. Take your pick. We give you two different options. You just choose one. We want you to get involved, of course, in the comment section, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, with your answers to the questions as we play right here with our guests. And we'll celebrate our following, our favorite commenter on the following episode. So we'll celebrate this one when we come back in January. But for now, let's go ahead and play some Take Your Pick. Here we go with our first one. Remember every detail of your dreams or never have a nightmare again.
Man.
It's the or, huh?
I think I'm gonna go with every detail of the dreams because there's a bag
every detail.
There, man. There's a bag in there, man. There'll be sometimes I wake up, I'm like, man, I know I got $1 million movie, man. What's going on? If I can get them details together.
But let's say that turns into a nightmare, and then suddenly P. Diddy's right behind you with your cat.
Oh no!
You remember every detail of it.
The fact that your mind even exists there. The fact that your mind even went there, brother. I'm gonna pray for you, brother, specifically when we get off the shore, bro, because that's the type of nightmares you having.
Nightmares,
now,
man. That's it.
I mind as a grown man. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. As a grown man, I don't have nightmares. I ain't had no nightmares since I was a little boy, so I'm not.
Well, that you remember.
That's good for you.
That you remember.
I'm not concerned with no nightmares, man. I'm gonna take them dreams and get the money things, man. Good luck with Diddy in your dreams or whatever's going on over there, man.
Not Diddy in the dreams.
Yeah, he ain't in my dreams, man. He might be in yours. He might be in your dreams. He might be in yours.
I feel like sometimes with these nightmares, there might be a lesson in there, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm not the type to hide from my fears, man. I face my fears, man. So yeah, keep them nightmares.
How's Mally rocking on this one?
I would probably go with every detail.
Yeah.
I would say every detail of a dream.
Detail.
It's funny because I told a good friend of mine, we were talking about some tour related and some merch related issues, and just randomly I was like, yo, I had this dream that you kicked me out of your house. This literally happened a few days ago. I was like, you kicked me out of your house because I made fun of a friend who talked to his stomach because it hung over his belt line. So then I mocked him by talking to my wrist. Like, you can't make fun of my friends like that. And then and it was like some 2024 no bullying type stuff. He's like, yeah, you can't shame my friends in my house.
Right.
But his friends holding his stomach, talking to him like, oh, it's okay. You'll go down. Bro,
that right, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna cut you in because you told me the story publicly, but that's the $1 million deal. You know what I'm saying?
Talking to your belly.
You need those details,
right?
Right. You need those details.
I get it. There's the story.
$1 million idea. I get it. I see where Mambo's head on this one, man. Oh, never doubted. Okay, let's get on to the next one. All right, take your pick. Thanos or the Joker?
To fight, or is it a
I already
friend,
know
or-
his answer.
I'm going Thanos.
You going Thanos?
I'm going Joker.
Is this to
Oh,
fight?
He's going Joker. Ooh.
Him too.
Whatever.
Whatever. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to go with the Joker. That's always been the guy.
Right.
He's Timothy.
Yeah.
He's him?
He works at Hemi John's, man. It's gotta be the Joker.
Right.
Gotta be him. He's
Yo.
that. Can't outsmart him.
I
Man.
think the Joker would definitely do that.
The way I see this one was like up to your interpretation. I wasn't fight one of them. Who's your favorite? I was like, who am I taking over the world with? Like the Joker just plays too many games.
You're not taking
The Joker plays far too many games. He's probably a great time, but like once we're accomplishing stuff, you're gonna be like, yeah, we got all the money. I'm about to light it on fire. Like, yo, hold on. Yo, like, no, but this is the message. Like,
you thought about this before.
Oh, you've actually thought about this
I thought
before.
about this before.
What when you thought
and
about
now
it,
me and Thanos sliding around. Like he also doesn't have too many friends.
Not with Thanos.
And we just got the rings. We're doing our thing from universe to universe. You know what I'm saying? That sounds kind of tight.
Oh man, I think I'm with conclusion in spade though, man. I'm here for a good time, you know. I don't think Thanos has much of a sense of humor.
Y'all must not remember how the Dark Knight went and how Joker treated his friends in the Dark Knight, but that's okay. Let's keep going. No, it's okay.
Those were associates. Those
Oh,
were
right, okay.
His homies,
Yeah,
he already had him down. You know, the other
subcontractors.
one that dragged his body into the room. You know what I'm saying? So he could take out the whole guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even that first bank robbery, like everyone
Right?
got smoked but him, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Plus,
Came
you're not
out
thinking
clean.
about the 50-50 snap, man. It's only two of you. So one of you guys snap your finger, somebody's gone.
True.
You be riding
Hey,
for not very
hey,
long.
hey, those are decent odds. And if it's him, now I got this powerful ring and it's just me thugging. So like I don't know.
Right?
I'm a man of probability. 50% is decent odds. You know what I'm saying?
He has
Flip a
thought
coin.
about it.
Flip a coin. I got you.
Spade, you messed around and got yourself talking to a betting man, you know what I'm saying?
You planning this out. I'm freestyling. You have all the details.
I see it.
You got me changing my answer.
Mama tends to do that sometimes. What about you, Patron?
Joker all the way.
Joker.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right.
I could have told you that, D Money.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Okay.
You know, Patron's got all the jokes. He's gonna throw in the antics, make sure that you know what I mean. Got the curveballs, the flower that squirts water on you.
Right.
Squirts juice.
Juice, fresh juice.
Fresh juice, yes. All right, man. We'll go a little bit more easier on the next one. All right, take your pick. Play video games all day or watch movies?
Watch movies.
Watch
I'm
movies?
about to say watch movies.
Yeah.
I'm about to say watch movies.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, I like playing video games. Don't get me wrong.
Well, you know, it
Good
depends
games,
on what the
good
company is. Like if I'm playing video games and it's like I'm in a party mode with a bunch of my friends from around the world and things like that, then maybe I could do that all day. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm doing it by myself, if it's by myself, oh man, I don't know. I think if I
Dang.
Wow.
Hey man, if I'm by
When I was a
myself,
kid, I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's lock it in. I'm about to beat this.
right.
Yeah.
it's
You know
got to
what I'm
be in
saying?
movies though, because you can't get mad at movies. I might throw the
Hey, hold on. It depends on the character development because there's some actors that nah, bro. I'm telling you, if I see them in real life, bro, like I may like want to really fight them just for how good of a job they did in whatever
Some
movie.
big talkers out there, man. I'm telling
You know,
right?
like there's like, it's like
Can't keep
hey,
it
bro.
close.
I'm not even gonna address them by their government name. They are whatever character it is. Like, if I like, God forbid I ever run into Scar from The Lion King. Me and him got words.
It's over.
We have got words to exchange, man. That's all I'm saying.
I just want to talk to you.
I just want to talk to you. Let me tell you something.
Oh, the chef beat says movies actually put him to sleep.
Mally, what you going with on this one, dog?
He said movies, didn't he?
Right. He did.
Hey, it's actually his birthday, man, today. So, shout out to him.
Happy birthday to the chef.
Happy birthday, Chef Beats.
Chef Beats. You can use that tag. That was a birthday gift for you. Just scream.
Hey.
Man, that's love right there.
That is love. I believe Mally said movies. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Patron, what's yours?
Oh, I'm going movies all day.
Movies all day.
Yeah, I really don't even play video games.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't even know how to play them mostly. Like I'll play Mario Kart and that's it.
I just can't justify the time anymore like I once could.
Yeah.
That's really what my problem is. Like, I want to play video games. Like, there's video games right here, but I just don't turn it on, bro. Like, I don't cut it on. I don't, you know what I mean? There's never enough.
That's the thing, Mambo. I just gave you a whole opportunity to do it for an entire day or watch movies.
I guess you did give me a free day, so I'll take my free. I'm switching. I'm going back to video games.
Sign it off. The money changing decision.
That's it, man.
Forza, what are you gonna play?
What are you gonna play all day, Mambo?
See, the thing is, I'm gonna switch it up and I'm gonna stream because I am getting the bag, y'all. So I'm gonna just stream the games all day.
Oh, not those Twitch streams where everyone's watching you.
I'm gonna be on there streaming. If you got a clothing brand you want me to wear while I'm streaming, tap in. Any cannabis sponsors out there want me to smoke their specific strain while I'm playing, tap in.
I know if there weren't those rights problems, people would be doing that with movies. They'd be like,
the streamers are probably on here taking notes. Like, that's a good idea. Hey man, I need 5% off your contract. I need a percentage off of your contract and a T-shirt from whatever brand signs you.
Businessman trained right here, that's for sure.
Very trained. All right, let's get on to the next one. Here we go. Take your pick. Never age physically or never age mentally?
Easy work. Never age physically. And then my mind is just gonna be grown and wise, and I'm gonna be young and buff looking forever.
Yeah, well, someday it's gonna get old mentally, and then you'll know where you are.
I mean, like, but if I'm, I'll be buff looking with dementia, bro. Like having dementia, and
I was just thinking that.
No, but like, but like having dementia and being physically crippled, bro, that's tough. Now, if you're like kind of lost a little bit, but you're like, you know what I mean?
You can wake up in the morning and be like, dang, who is that?
Like,
yeah, who is that?
Like your grandpa's yoked in the wheelchair.
Right.
I'm 200 years old. I'm a little confused, but I'm out here.
But he buff though.
He just be playing video games all day.
Yeah, now I got time. Now I've got time.
Streaming.
All right, which one is it for you, Mally?
I probably would go with. I think that's a tough one because both have advantages, but I probably would go mentally. Yeah, something about the mind is intriguing to me, like still being able to be intact and process and put together thoughts is, but if you're like, still able to do most of the things you could do, but if you're just, I don't know. I think mentally, I'll go with mentally.
I'm with it, man. Yeah,
it's gonna last for a while at least. You're gonna get at least a while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how I see it. Professor X.
Yeah,
I got mind tricks ready for you.
I'm with Mally, man. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, and I don't want to have dementia, man. I want to be sharp in my older years.
And this is all presuming that your mind just like, maybe it's the physical decreption that makes it so people's minds go bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
So maybe if you physically stay all right, you got a healthy brain, because my brain has to be healthy.
But now you're merging them.
Hey, this is what I do. Welcome to Fresh Juice. I'm one of the guys who makes the rules.
I just gave you some press.
Mambo over here cheating as usual. What's your take, Patron?
What was the question?
Remember when I told you guys about the Joker thing? There you go. There you go.
No joke. I didn't even see the question.
No, he did put it up there quickly. Go ahead, D-Money. Throw it up.
Never age physically or never age mentally.
Oh man, peak shape physically.
See, me and Patron are real buff, and we're not going to the old home. We're just out here thugging.
But if you have dementia, you're still going to the old home.
Dementia is definitely rough, man.
We're gonna be like, how old do you think I am? I don't know, like 35. I'm about to be like, shorty, I'm 219.
I just don't remember I'm that age. Come on.
I think.
I don't know.
Like, oh my gosh, no way. That was my great grandpa's age.
Bet she'll still talk to you though. That's good.
Nah, see, that don't work for me. I got like a 5-year rule, so the game ends for me after a while.
I don't think you're gonna find many women that are 200.
Yeah,
though,
you know, I'm gonna follow. Hey, that's okay, bro. The way Tesla going, I'll figure something out. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Thank you, everybody, for playing another edition of Take Your Pick, man. Good fun time, man. We'll have more games for you in the future, but the rest of this show is going to be great. We got Mally here. We got Conclusion here. We got Spade here. Lots to come. We're going to get to know both of these cats, or all three of them, actually, and get their background, see where they're coming from, all that kind of stuff, some fun stories. So stay tuned right here on Fresh Juice. Great show. Tell your friends and all that. Before that, though, we got a new joint coming to you right here from Seattle. Fina the Angel with her new joint, produced by the one and only P. Cruz on this joint. Check it out.
P. Cruz.
It's called Peace. And yeah, man, we'll say peace for now, but we'll see you in a little bit right here on Fresh Juice, Rainer Avenue Radio. Fina the Angel right now.
I'm in my head, thinking and dreaming about what you never said. Just that you cared, know you weren't there. Thought you were my friend, one of the good ones, one of the long ones. Thought it wouldn't end. So we drift apart, I knew we both go far. I don't wanna try with you anymore. Feels like I care more than you do. I wish you well always, but I'm not having anything more to do with you. All I want is some peace tonight, knowing that I did myself right. All I want is some peace tonight, knowing that I did myself right. It's not bad blood, it feels ugly and new to me. Allowing myself to treat you how you've been treating me. Begging off for falling to give, but it's time I take care of myself, not you. I wasn't built to cater to everyone else, put my feelings on the shelf till they decay, just making sure that you're okay. Things won't stay the same, 'cause I don't wanna try with you anymore. Feels like I care more than you do. I wish you well always, but I'm not having anything more to do with you. All I want is some peace tonight, knowing that I did myself right. All I want is some peace tonight, knowing that I did myself right. Hey, don't look at me that way, like I'm some kind of villain, just 'cause I'm running. I can set boundaries, oh, set myself free.
Fresh Juice, Rainier Avenue Radio, The Juice Pack, D Money, Pint Size Patrol, OG Mambo, and ID Yourself. You're here with Biscuit and Butter. Yeah.
Let me start this off right, yo. Readjust the feel so good to be alive. Life is in reveal mode, rapping but it's still so. Now my hair real slow for days I didn't have in the past and they feel broke. Granny still good, every day I check on her. Fly till it's over, went from on to the owner. Slowly waking from a coma, see her stepping off the corners. In fact, take a breath and I try to relax. Can't save the world, then it's obvious I'm plotting on $1 till my pockets looking crowded, or just feel I'm somebody. This is cocaine soda sitting right beside the fire. Can't deny it, bout it, and I be the loudest. Can't you see I'm doing okay? Now every time that I see him, I just say I'm doing okay. Hope that's alright with you though. Yeah. When it comes to love, I'm the maybe kinda sorta type. When I get bored, not the Lorda type. T-shirt solid white, hungry with an appetite, order twice. Know I need protection, so I think I'll hit the Lord tonight. Free throw, Jordan like airbound cheer sounds. Just to get to heaven, boy, I gotta take the stairs down, stupid high. All the ladies show a Pisces love, felt supreme for what hype beast was. Can you fathom on some days I'm feeling like God's gift? Could've been so many things, yet I'm all listen up. Drive that could fill up 3 whole garages. A bright mind, dark skin, staying out the law's grip. Can't you see I'm doing okay? Yeah, my rent paid, new J's. You could say I'm doing okay. Take them home. When I get home, I be singing black songs, black days, black ways, black films, black poems. Black on black love is the way I was born. It didn't last, but I'm evident so it's pure, and that's forever, ever. Never better. I'll retire when my fella set up. Hope we never sever ties and the hustle fed us. Through the storms, now it's better weather. 7 days, hold my head up. Shame the devil for his lies, phony ways. Went from the only one to the one and only. When you got yourself to love, you ain't never lonely. Stating facts, that's a universal law. Ain't no changing that. When I fade to black, you can tell I'm doing okay. Yeah. Anytime I come through, you can see I'm doing okay. I'm with my people in the building, you can see we all okay.
Man, we doing okay right here. Fresh Juice, Rainier Avenue Radio, Mally doing okay. Off his album With the Last Word, the sweetest of all.
That joint smooth.
Riding, man. That joint's riding.
That's okay in the best way.
Yeah, man. Talk about the creation of that record, man. What's the inspiration behind that joint?
Yeah, yeah, Doing Okay is the main single off of my album With Last Word, and you know he's someone who I've worked with for a long time, not only as a producer and MC relationship, but we performed for many years when I was kind of getting my start, you know, in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Twin Cities, and touring around, you know, the region and the states and whatnot. But the inspiration for that record just kind of came like I was just in the process of writing the album, The Sweetest of It All. Didn't have a title up until maybe in the last several months, but I was just writing a bunch of songs, and I was in this process, like my writing process for a lot of the songs was not overthinking the process in general. I was just kind of like, what is my story? What do I want to say? Putting bits and pieces of myself into this project and not overthinking choruses, not overthinking verses. If the song was going to be 3 verses, cool. If it was going to be 1 verse, cool. If it had choruses. And this one just seemed like it had a smooth, like y'all were saying, it just rides like all the way through. And for some reason, I just wanted to do something where I wasn't kind of over exaggerating, you know, my feeling about what was going on. It's just like a 3-verse declaration or expression of just like where I'm at, you know, with my life. And doing okay sometimes can be taken, you know, as a I guess like an undercut to yourself versus doing amazing or doing great or doing phenomenal. But sometimes when they just say like, no, I'm actually doing okay, like it means, you know, pretty much the same thing. So
Yeah, I was doing worse. You know what I mean? This is actually a progressive step. You know what I mean? Doing okay. I'm in a space where I can maneuver. That's powerful.
Yeah, so
I'm good.
yeah, it's just it's just like but it's still like a level of positivity to it, and
you
just
mentioned
the instrumentation and all of that.
You mentioned some of them early days. Let's tap back into that a little bit. And while you're going into that, break down kind of what the scene is like out there for people who aren't hip, because you even mentioned multiple cities that I know a couple of them, but where it bounces around and how regionally it is kind of making that ascension through a local scene from over there.
Yeah, man, as we call it, the Twin Cities, because Minneapolis and St. Paul are like right next to each other, but they're very close to each other, but very different at the same time.
Okay,
but there's a lot of talent that comes out of this city, and of course you got some of the biggest names like Atmosphere and Brother Ali and Dessa, and Prof, and
the Ramsays.
Yeah, just and so in RSC, like Rhymesayers as a label, it is in Atmosphere being one of the flagship groups and still touring. I mean, they go on tour in January. Like, they made a mark through touring and kind of showing other artists through by example and opportunity that owning your own company and owning your own like business and music is possible, but it is a long-term investment. And I talk to Slug a lot, and when I do, he's not one to be shy, but he'll say, it's a little bit of like being fortunate, a little lucky, there's timing, and then there's also like the level of just constantly throwing darts at the board.
That's really funny that you said that, man, because last time I went golfing with Jake One, we actually had the same conversation where he's like in certain regional markets, you know what I'm saying, that aren't a New York, Miami, Atlanta, or whatever the case is. That's kind of what it is. It's a combination of some like, I don't know if you want to call it luck, opportunity, timing, universal energy, and like you said, just constantly throwing it up there until it stick, man. You know what I'm saying? So talk a little bit about that relationship that you got to develop there, because that's dope that you have that level of mentorship to even be able to have those conversations and things like that too. So how did that develop? Was that over time, or is that family ties, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's definitely over time, and I think in addition to the work, right, I think there's like a varying degree of classes of people as far as MCs are concerned. So you've got people who there's like the late 80s, early 90s class of generation. Then you probably have the late 90s, early 2000s. And then like, I'm kind of like in that class of artists that came after that in the 2009, 2010 blog era. So we had a mixture of young 20 somethings. And at the time, in that 09, 2010, 2011, 2012 Ascension segment, everybody was doing shows. We had crazy venues all over the place. I literally used to do shows, at one point in the very beginning, like sometimes I would have 3 shows in a week, one on a Tuesday, one on a Thursday, and then another one on Friday and Saturday. But through that consistent, and that's the other thing that I think we have here in the Twin Cities is, and it's probably very similar in a Seattle, in a Chicago, is that like you get if you do it the right way, you get your game up by being on stage in front of people.
Yeah,
you come from a class of not rapping over vocals. Yeah. You learn how to freestyle off the head, improvise. So we had that whole tutelage. So through all of that, people who are in close proximity are going to see that in Slug and Ali and a lot of those other guys who are affiliated with that imprint, or ones that were, they see that not only just in me but in other people, and they take notice. They throw opportunities, and then I think they're human beings too. So they also, even though they may have a larger amount of notoriety, they also
appreciate the artistry.
Yeah, appreciate the artistry, and even just the way people communicate with them. Just because they might have more followers or have more skin in the game doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. So, you know, you have to also treat them as human beings too. And so it's something that I've just learned and being close and in conversation with all of these individuals at one point. They've taught me a lot through example from afar and up close and personal, on stage, off stage. So yeah.
So what is it? Well, first question is, it sounds like there's a lot of unification with the whole Twin Cities things. Like, is there any separation regionally where they're like, no, I'm from this side, I'm from that side, or is everyone kind of like, we're both putting it together? Because I feel like that's really important when you're in these regions. Like, you know, that's how the Bay Area was able to do what it did, and Detroit could kind of create a movement when they weren't as separatist from Flint, and there was kind of like a Michigan sound that came out. So would you say it's kind of a unified effort from the whole Twin Cities?
I would say not, especially now. I would say since, let's say, present day 2024, going all the way back to maybe, I think my generation of artists from like that mid to late 2009 section. So, but I think before that year, like, so 15 years prior, or maybe 20 years prior, I think there was like, if you came from the North Side, I hear stories about people who come from that early 90s, late 90s time, where if you're from the North Side, you really didn't mess with the South Side of Minneapolis. And if you're from South Side or North Side, you really didn't fool with Northeast Minneapolis or St. Paul. You kind of stayed. Right. And there's people who still just off regular, like, they stay where they're at. Like, they're more comfortable. Right. And the thing is, the city within itself is still small. Like, it's not like it's the size of a Chicago or the size of, you know,
Dallas or Houston.
Yeah. This is little. Like, Minneapolis and St. Paul is together maybe cracks 1 million and change, maybe, if that. Together.
Would you say that there's still a lot of areas where hip hop isn't widely accepted?
I would say, I think when it comes in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul,
or at least around it, yeah,
I would say, I think, well, just to be all the way real, I think Minnesota in general, demographically, well, probably a lot of states in the U.S., but Minnesota specifically as a state is demographically, I think, predominantly white. And then when you get into the more the metro area, you do have,
I can kind of guess that.
you get a wider range of people. So you get Black, Brown, East African, West African, African American, you get Latino, like but culturally, I think when it comes to radio, when it comes to press, as far as journalism is concerned, what's written about, what's talked about, I still think hip hop is still kind of like the third or fourth or fifth on the list. A lot of times, you know, if it's not, you know, indie rock or alternative or bluegrass or anything that involves, you know, like a guitar and Birkenstocks, like, you know what I mean? Like, in a barista that looks like, you know, White Jesus, like hip hop is still kind of, you know, it's still kind of third or fourth on the list, but this genre, this culture is the thing that I think makes this city special. Like, a lot of special people have come from this place, but I still think that there is, but you got to think too, with a lot of these radio stations and publications, who their donor base is.
Right. We have similarities with that too out here in Seattle, which made me want to ask, how does that transcend not only from like the music scene, but like, what about like your club and nightlife scene? Is there some cultural presence there, or do you say that it's still kind of like that same general Twin City vibe?
I would say like it definitely bleeds over into all aspects of life. So even the more quote unquote poppin' sections of town, culturally it still can be very segregated, or I guess you could say segregated or exclusive.
Yeah, top 40 vibes instead of hip hop friendly vibes.
Yeah, so yeah. I definitely think so. Or if there is a major station, maybe the hip hop segment of the week is on a Sunday at some random time at night, and it's a sister
Right.
station. But it's not like the main focus. And if it is a major station, it is mainstream rap. It's commercial rap. It's not, independently owned.
Right.
It's very similar to here, I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
It's
Pretty
pretty
much.
simple.
It sounds like it.
It's a lot similar.
Pretty much. And what,
Seattle has that a lot, and we definitely have our pockets where like hip hop is not that popping.
and while we're talking about the local scene, we hear you're a local award recipient of the McKnight Foundation Fellowship. What is that?
Yeah, so the McKnight Foundation Fellowship, I received that in the 2018-2019 year as for musicians. So the McKnight Foundation is pretty much a foundation that funds all different types of artistry. So they've got rewards for recipients in the world of dance, folks who do visual art, folks who do composition, folks who are live performers or songwriters. So essentially I look at it as an arts organization that's been around for many years, but believes in, I think, artists essentially flourishing and being recognized for their work. And at that time, the fellowship is not only something that the grant is $25,000, it's highly competitive. And it also is for, mid-level or like, I guess you would say people who have kind of been masters of their craft over the last, let's say 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
And, it was something that I applied to a few different times, but it was when I applied for it, I think it was the right time because it was on the heels of a new record coming out. I had a lot to say, but it's a prestigious award. It's something that isn't, it isn't just handed out. It isn't like, the gold star in kindergarten class. You show up and
Right.
It's afforded to everybody, but you do have to demonstrate some level of mastery over your craft, artist statement. Your resume has to be solid. Have you toured? Have you put out, records? Do you have a videography? Do you just have a catalog, that can stand up against, with the best of them. And the wild part about the McKnight is I think more recently in the last 4 or 5 years, maybe 6, I've started to see more hip hop artists get this award, which is really dope. And I think the year that I got it, I think me and then there was another group by the name of Kill the Vultures. They're a pretty dope hip hop group in the Twin Cities as well. It was like 2 in the same year, and I don't think that had happened yet.
Wow.
So I think they're starting to also, I think broaden their horizons and understand that it isn't just, classically trained musicians that are considered musicians. I think hip hop songwriters are some of the greatest. So yeah, that was a really dope award because it helped me build out a home studio and put a record out. Yeah, it was dope. But when you really start digging in and investing, you start to see like, oh, even though this is like a lot, like quote unquote, a lot of money, it's really not in the grand scheme of things. Like it goes quick. So so yeah, that was my experience with that. But it's definitely prestigious, and once you get it, it's kind of like it's not a Grammy for real, but it is to a degree because it's a very competitive and highly regarded
recognition.
Yeah.
The recognition is definitely important.
Yeah.
Man, so you got to break down the name for us, man, and the origin story. I know we get close to that time. Yeah, where you get the Mally from, and what pulled you in to even want to start using your pen? Because talked about some of the journey and things like that, but what was it that opened the door and made you want to commit to the whole movement and the journey?
Well, I think to start at the beginning, music has always just been, part of my life. I think most people who make music has kind of been a part of their life since they were a child. And for me, it was probably no different. Music was always being played, all different sources, genres, so on and so forth. And just having my favorite artist at the time, I always tell people my first tape that I had was, I think, in '92 when Criss Cross came out. I'll never forget that.
Wow.
Jump.
Yeah, that was it. And then just all the influences of everyone else as I got older, you know, and started hitting elementary school and middle school, just all the other different sounds that I'm hearing from different regions and what family members were listening to. And so that just was constantly, those seeds were being planted as the years went on. And, you know, as I started getting into writing, you know, I think for me, it was like trying to figure out, like, hip hop was always that thing for me where I discovered, you know, myself, or it was a place where I felt like I saw myself a lot. You know, I saw myself reflected in different people and different stories and different artists and from different regions as well. Or I just felt it made me feel and think about something, good, bad, or indifferent, but it did something for me. It was like my guide to navigate the world, but then also my escape from the world at the same time.
Your absolute release.
That was the thing for me for hip hop. So it was like a guide on, like, you know, manhood, like all of the like important parts, all of the maybe ones that people would deem toxic present day, like it was there, like it was a special thing. And I think a lot of us, it saved a lot of us in a lot of ways. It kept a lot of us sane during tough times. And as I think when I started getting into writing, you know, some of my influences at the time would be people like Idea, who early on is rest in peace, an MC from St. Paul, Minnesota, who was an amazing freestyler. And I'll never forget, he was in this competition called Blaze Battle. And I just happened to be at my grandma's house at the time, staying up late, sneaking cable TV,
of course,
you know, past my bedtime. But I stayed up and watched Blaze Battle on HBO, and he's destroying everybody from the East Coast. I mean, and these guys are coming with pre-written verses.
Yeah,
he's freestyling off the head, and he's just destroying everybody. And then you end up meeting. Then I end up meeting a friend who has a computer and he has internet, because, you know, he comes from money. So every time I go to his house, we're on mcbattles.com looking up rap battles, and Blaze, we're looking up Scribble Jam battles, Rap Olympics. So we've seen and heard all of them. So we just used to, and like so much to the point where you have battles memorized in your head.
Woo!
And that was like Supernatural versus Juice, if you're familiar with that one. There's a bunch that I could list off. But anyway, those were the things that inspired me to write. Because at first it was like battling or freestyling was the first thing. And then after that, I got into the East Coast and their style, and then started studying other artists that my favorites kind of looked up to. And to fast forward, I just happened to be freestyling with a friend, one of my best friends, at my house on this, you know, Dell computer with like a bogus microphone that could record. It could record sound.
That's how I recorded my first verse. That's how I recorded my first verse.
Yeah, it was
Makuya.
Yeah, it was called this thing called Music Match Jukebox or something like that. It was like a program that came with the computer.
That might have
been. The mic was probably like the size of an ink pen.
Like you was controlling a spaceship or something.
Yeah.
You start tricking
crazy. All right, man. We are pretty much over to break, man. So we got to jump to birthday celebrations real quick. Let's celebrate some birthdays from the scene. Happy birthday. And of course, Chef Beats as well. Didn't know about that. Otherwise, he would be in there. So, anybody else have a birthday they want to shout out before we move on?
My sister's birthday is on Friday. So happy birthday out there. And my soon-to-be sister-in-law's birthday is on Friday as well. So
beautiful.
Happy birthday to Lena.
My younger brother's birthday was just 2 days ago. brother Joe. So happy birthday, man. He hit that dirty 30. So
okay. All right.
He's back.
Happy birthday, younger bro. Any birthdays for you, Mally?
I swear there was just one the other. I'll shout out my dude 8 Proof. He's a tattoo artist from the city, but he moved out to Montreal. Tattoo artist. He just celebrated a birthday today. So yeah,
I'll belated.
Nice.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
The chef also says his sister on the 22nd as well. Wow.
Happy B-Day.
Wow, they were really born close together. Okay.
Yeah. December got some cold ones. That's a bar, but
yeah. All right. Let's move on from the birthdays, man. We're gonna get to our next joint from Portland. Winnie, a new joint from her. This joint is called Rug Burn, is what it's called. So check out Rug Burn from Winnie. Right here on Fresh Juice, Rainer Avenue Radio, of course, syndicated on Blazing 420 Radio. And we'll be right back and get to know Conclusion in spades. So keep it locked. It's Fresh Juice on Rainer Avenue Radio.
I miss you and I can't lie. I think love is for the birds. Were the good times worth it all if all I'm left with is the hurt? People gon' console you and say, look at what you learned. Try to numb all the emotions, but the world just gotta turn. They say all it takes is time, cause before you I was fine. Hit the gym, pick up a hobby, and go focus on my grind. My sure mic's the only sure thing, and Shanna number 9. If I could go back, probably wouldn't let you hit it from behind. Flashbacks hit me like a brick, maybe I should send a text. Sometimes wonder how the fuck you let me turn into your ex. Boys thinking they got next, DMs like the Wild West. Tell each other they've been patient, playing checkers, never chess. Think I'm finally on the market, damn, little did they know. PlayStation 6 will drop by the next time I leave the home. And you had me in your palm, why you let me slip? Wipe those sweaty fingers off, boy, keep that towel on your hip. Cause you got butterfingers, son. Girls don't let him in the end zone. If he says that you're too good for him, just put him in a friend zone. See him as he is, not for his potential, cause that shit's gon' hit the fan when he can't keep up with your tempo. If he's overconfident, he's been in every box bento, so don't claim him as your own. He'll be fire as a rental, but once you take a joyride, go return the keys. Don't let that man be reason for that rug burn on your knees. Girl, get up. Why you on the floor? Crying? We're not crying anymore. Girl, get up. Why you on the floor? Crying? We're not crying anymore. Can't believe I let a man make me feel like this, let alone one that I could replace pretty damn quick. Like how I catch these feelings and I can't just let them go. I can't do this shit again. I should just go be a hoe, but I'm a lover though, for real. Guess it's just no way around it. Men are pretty simple though, and we be acting so dumbfounded. He's not thinking deep about it. We hear the words and count them and hang on them by a thread, cause what he missed, not how it sounded. I don't wanna be on different planets with you, that's a wrap. He don't wanna go halfway, he won't meet me where I'm at. If I'm the only one who cares, throw the whole damn thing away. How you standing there so quiet when I have so much to say? You got butterfinger, son. Girls don't let him in the end zone. If he says that you're too good for him, just put him in a friend zone. See him as he is, not for his potential, cause that shit's gon' hit the fan when he can't keep up with your tempo. If he's overconfident, he's been in every box bento, so don't claim him as your own. He'll be fire as a rental, but once you take a joyride, go return the keys. Don't let that man be reason for that rug burn on your knees. Girl, get up. Why you on the floor? Crying? Nah, we're not crying anymore. Girl, get up. Why you on the floor? Crying? We're not crying anymore. Girl, get up. Hey, why you on the floor? Crying? We're not crying anymore. Nah, get up. Why you on the floor? Crying? We're not crying anymore. Girl, get up.
What's good? This is KT from the Beat Armada. Shout out to Fresh Juice on Rainer Avenue Radio. The Juice Pack. Yeah, D Money, Pint Size Patron, OG Mambo, and ID Yourself. Come on. I really
If you could look in, if you could look into my room through the window behind the closed door. If you could look into my room through the window behind the closed door.
September 19th, 1991. Birth was given in Seattle to a bastard son. Another mouth to feed, another one of Satan's seeds. Just to get filled with greed, another product of society. I'm the extra plate at the dinner table, and I'm speaking 100, but these niggas think it's stable. I don't live my life like they do, and if you're different, then they hate you. I'm doing favors, no thank you. They only trying to break you. Living like a king, cause that's all I wanna be. We running from my bloodline, but all my family royalty. Don't wanna live, but I'm scared to die. Is it really wrong? I wanna live with an angel fly. I love war, not fuck women. My life's gone and I'm done sinning. I'm pissing in the wind, just trying to figure out what's missing. I can't trust my mama. How can I trust these issues? My dad ain't even want me. He too busy hitting switches. Y'all see me at the top floor, but I'm really just the bottom. I ain't better than nobody else, so tell me what's the problem. They say that God must hate me cause I never get no help, but the truth is it's my fault because I hate myself.
Look into my room through the window, behind the closed door. If you could look into my room through the window, behind the closed door.
Since the day that I was born, I've been dealing with these problems. Daddy snorting up some coke, didn't matter if I got him. Mama working all the time just to keep him rock bottom. Bruises up on her face, everyone wondering where she got him. But mama gained some courage and decided to run away. The only other problem, where the hell we gonna stay? So now I'm on the run, trying to find a place to hide. Cause the daddy ever caught us, he would snuff out all our lives. Now we living in the shelter, that's the moment I learned to steal. You did what you could to get your family a meal. Now a couple years have passed, got a chip up on my shoulder. Lost all the innocence, my soul got a little colder. Daddy was a veteran boy, he then came a street soldier. Trying to pull a hustle, slanging up on the corner. Didn't need anybody, I was built to be alone. But a couple years have passed, got a family of my own. Still dealing with these problems, but now we're closer to home. They say what doesn't kill you can always make you strong. Well, I lived through the struggle, it's a little hard to see. So then I rolled up my problems and smoked lines.
You can look into my room through the window, behind the closed door. If you could look into my room through the window, behind the closed door.
Spade with that one right there. Fresh Juice, Rainier Avenue Radio, Privacy.
That was
West Coast. Yeah, that was both.
Oh, it's Spade and Conclusion on that joint.
I forgot too, bro. No, I forgot I was on that joint.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
That was West Coast for real.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that joint's dope. That was dope.
Appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it was smooth. I like that.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Chef Beats likes that as well. Fire all around. All right. So I know Conclusion doesn't remember being on the record, but Spade, do you remember that record?
Oh yeah, man. That's from a couple years ago. You know, we try to do deep songs. You know, talk about the stuff we've been through, the struggle, because we work with a lot of the youth. You know, we do a lot of outreach, so it helps to let it out and let these kids know, especially these young men out here, that you can express yourself and you don't have to worry about, you know, being seen as, you know, less or weak or anything. You know, everybody goes through stuff, and you can present it through your art, you know, just like Molly was talking about earlier.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right. Well, how did you guys meet? Like originally, you guys go all the way back to school, or?
Nah, man, we got forced together.
Forced together.
So like he was just getting his life together, and I was just getting into the worst parts. So
we
kind of clashed.
So I was a youth outreach worker.
Youth outreach, okay.
Yeah, I did a lot of youth outreach work right after high school. I think I was 22 when I finally got hired on by the Yes Foundation or UGM.
That's a good look at 22, man.
Yeah, at UGM, they invested in me. They said, you know, you got talented kids. We definitely are looking for the kids that are on the margin, you know, the ones that are close to committing crimes.
Gotcha.
So that was my main focus is working with kids like that and helping them out and giving them a dream. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, look, we got music, we got dance, we got art. So there was no type of outlet for any kids to get into the art. So I pretty much developed one in my center.
That's hard.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So he ended up being one of the youth kids that joined in.
He was on the margin.
Man, I was past the margin.
You can't believe it's not funny.
Basically, one day, man, I just seen him working with some cats because, you know, I was a knucklehead. I didn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And they were making some music, and I was like, "What are you guys doing?" And he said, "We're making songs." And, you know, being young, you think you know everything. I was like,
right.
You guys can't make your own music. You can't make stuff like on the radio. And I just didn't leave that studio. you know, and then picked up all them skills, learned how to use all this equipment. And then, you know, Margin pushed me over the edge, and had to take a time out for a couple years. But you know,
when I recorded with you way back when, man, was that a church?
That was the spot. That was the spot. So he left, and I took over everything. You know, he was changing things and going through a lot. So they was like, "Can you take over?" And I was like, "Yeah,
it's
man,
the fuzzy memory, man. That's like 12 years ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
But I do remember. I think it was a church.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
That's where
they invested in us like that.
Like you guys, I'm sure know Nikita Oliver. You know, she so she used to bring kids over there too. Like people would bring groups from different community center schools to us. We would just work with the youth, you know, and
kind of figure out their sound.
Yeah.
Is she from White Center?
No.
Okay.
She brought him from Rainier.
Got you.
Yeah. We had a real good studio, so she was always, you know,
that's our though.
Anytime you guys got, you know.
Yeah, Is the Elite says that's the spot.
Like some of the dopest. Some of the dopest musicians come from the church though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like our producer Ace, man, he grew up playing all the instruments in the church, so his beats are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like John Legend was just in the church, just
No,
but like if he never made it though?
Oh, he blew the windows out of that church.
He just be at that church every Sunday.
Oh man! And I remember we learned last week when we had the producer duo, John Legend, extremely loud when he be singing in the studio. Man.
I don't even know if he's religious. His voice reminds me of church.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he almost makes you want to get married with all his songs, but
he definitely got the wedding jam.
I did want to mention real quick that Mally's also a youth mentor, man. So a little collaboration right there.
Yeah. Oh man,
that's pretty much how we started too. It's just like working with kids, getting them involved.
It's the perfect matchup.
Yeah.
Well, that's
because you just find that I think it's an outlet, right? Like it's just they're always just looking to express themselves, and I'm realizing when they have a space, even if it's not music, if it's poetry or just speaking or any sort of thing that's just going to get them to just tell their story, and the level of consistency, I've noticed that when they trust you and you show up consistently for them, that even makes them even more to want to have more conversations, talk about their craft, their art. You just
help them mold them, man. Help them mold it. Like, hey, yeah, you could do this or change. I mean, keep them interchangeable. Like they can fit to any lock. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, dude, we need to make this happen, man. These kids have energy to do it. Why not? So we invested in a new studio. We got a whole dance studio too with a bunch of mirrors and all that.
Beautiful.
And then they lost funding.
They
had to let me go, and the church got shut down, and a different place bought it up. Now there's a arts community that's there though.
Theater group.
Yeah, theater. Yeah.
Yeah. Theater.
So
Okay.
It's cool that it turned into that somewhat of an art sort of form. So.
When we talk about some of the more recent things that you're involved with, and we have a couple of things like Definition, Infinity Media.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that kind of evolved from us teaching after school programs for kids. So basically, you know, we were doing curriculum and getting grants. We had kind of figured it out. Like, you know, I had to sit down and do some time from 15 to 17. So when I got back and we got back together, it's like what worked for both of us and what didn't work, and how can we put something new together for the kids. And it ended up being a bunch of classes that we were teaching, and then COVID kind of put the brakes on everything. Kids weren't allowed to leave to go to outside buildings because we had, you know, our own offices, our own studios that they could come to and work and stuff like that. But you know, then it just turned into services, because even though the kids weren't there to teach, there were still a lot of artists that, you know, really good lyricists that didn't have the production quality, or somebody that really wanted to get into the game and be serious, but they don't know the business side of it, you know, and we were just there to offer the services, you know, help them reach that level of quality that they really needed.
Yeah.
Give
them a map?
Do you keep in touch with these the kids that you've worked with in the past, like that, where they've what's become of their lives?
I do keep in touch with quite a few of them. Some of them own their own homes. They
Nice.
Time jobs, and some of them are just coming out of prison.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some of them were able to change their life, and some of them, you know, I'm still there for them when they get out.
No.
Being halfway home, hey, I'm on my way. I'll be there to see you. You know, I try and show up for everybody I helped.
That's what's up.
It's kind of weird, man. We got groups of kids, like certain ages, like, you know, 7-year span here is a group of kids, 7-year span here, you know, because we taught kids from 13 to 18.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when you see a kid you work with graduate, you know, or like experiences like we had, we only get the at-risk kids. You know, it can't just be a kid that's interested in studio. It has to be a kid that's gonna go off the deep end or something like that. You know,
trying to save somebody.
We've even had situations where the mentors and the educators are like, don't let that kid be in the program. They're not a good kid, you know. We're like, we're not going to do it unless they are in the program.
Yeah,
and those kids are the ones that usually excel.
Those are the ones that we need to influence the most.
Yeah.
You know? So we took the time out to influence and just help them out, help them develop something that they could sell. You know what I'm saying? They can make a living out of it, and some of them did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
someone took off. You know,
just like Molly's an example of, man. It's a lot of these kids can't resonate with it unless they know you come from it too.
Yeah,
you know, they don't really see it the same way because, like, why should I listen to this guy? He doesn't know.
You don't know
what I'm going through.
Green, you don't know nothing. You know, then they take advantage of you if you they think you don't know nothing. My introduction to the kids most of the time was like, I'm probably the hoodest youth leader you're ever gonna run into, so please don't cross the line.
Woo!
And some of them did, so I had to like close the garage door and be like, hey, into this now, let's go ahead and do it. And they're like, are you serious? I was like, if you're serious, I'm serious. And they're like, no, I don't want to do that. It's like, okay, I got your back. I'm going to take care of you. This is what it means for me to take care of you. I'm willing to spank you so that you can get in line, and I'll take care of the business. All right. So, but it was cool, man. It was good being around these kids. And they learned to trust me. They learned to realize that I'm going to be there at the court dates. I'm going to be there when they need help because mom just kicked them out. I'm gonna be there to give them a place to go, you know. So that's pretty much what my job was. So a lot of late nights. For sure.
Kind of reminds me of that Coach Carter scene where teachers aren't allowed to touch students.
But these kids understood it though. You know what I'm saying? They realized, okay, you really don't mess around. You are serious about having our back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I drew the line. I'm serious. I'm not playing any games. If you call me, I'm gonna be there.
There's not very many people that do outreach work that'll go beyond the building.
Yeah.
I've had to sit down with kids' parents like, hey man, if I told you to clean your room, you'd do it, but your mom's the one buying you the clothes and the food. How come you don't do it when she asks you?
Right.
It doesn't make sense, you know.
It don't, man.
They trust your word.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also just don't know what people are going through. I think that's the one thing, you know, since I've had a chance to, you know, I think when I was a kid, I can think back to moments when I would have classmates that probably, you know, maybe smelled like they hadn't showered. And, you know, and as a kid being next to other kids, you just think, oh man, they're nasty. Like something's wrong with them. And then when you get older and you start, at least for me, you start working in these environments, working with these young people, and you feel like, oh, you hear that such and such didn't eat last night, or they live in a shelter, or whatever situation they got going on. It just lets you know that, like, no, like a lot of people, why they show up, maybe they're angry when they show up to school, why they don't want to talk. It could be a whole bunch of things, and it also gives you a level of empathy, I think, for me, like just to understand that everybody's got something going on.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, man, it folded into, you know, past that when we couldn't do, even when we were doing the classes at the time when we were doing our events. It's like why I reached out to, you know, like Patron, how we met. You know, I get invited out to Olympia, and I invite all the artists that I met from all these other cities back to Seattle to perform when we host our events, because it's like, you know, we need to network, we need to cross promote with each other, we need to give each other opportunities, you know, because there's only so many stages in Washington, especially now. You know, they don't really like the local scene anymore. They don't let us do stuff like we used to, and you know, it's like I was told no so many times, like, you're not old enough to be in my shows, you know. So I got it in where I could get it, which was, you know, Rob Spruill at the Playpen, you know, down there. Like, I can't perform in Seattle, so I'll drive all the way to Olympia to perform, you know.
Wow.
You know,
to the Playpen,
yeah, me and Yak and Twist and you guys, Double B, Heretic, everybody out there.
Shout out to Heretic. Yeah, his birthday's just passed, man.
Happy belated.
I just had a battle in Olympia actually over the weekend.
I gotta watch that.
Happy birthday, Heretic. We had a rap battle.
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, actually, you guys first time I brought you out here was here to this venue, wasn't it? For the Lyric League. We had the
That's what
freestyle
I
competition.
knew this. So that was this building, right?
Yeah, you were the first
That
person.
was this building,
You
right?
were the first dude from outside of Seattle.
So
to
how
win the
I met
title.
him
That's
is
right.
I won a tournament right there.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
So we used to do the Lyric League battles, back when people used to freestyle
Lyric
before the
League,
written
yeah.
stuff. We used to.
And because the winner got like a studio session.
Yeah. That's why you came out. Yeah.
and the dude I beat was we seen him on the show. We had him on the show like 3 years ago.
Oh, wow! Yeah. I was telling him it's a small world. Like,
and he's Filipino too, so that was a cool little.
And you
heavyweight,
came
like
the Rapping Forte show we did, right? At the
Yeah.
house over there.
Yeah.
He was the one at the door.
Yeah.
He was the one checking everybody's security.
Because the winner of the tournament also got to perform at that.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Small place.
And I hear that conclusion. That was your first time ever doing security, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
It kind of landed in my lap.
He said, "What am I supposed to do with all these guns?" He said, "People turning in weapons at the door. What do I do?"
There's so much happening right here. So I just tell them to take it back to their car or something. Nah, just stick it over there. And I was like, what the? Be no children around here getting into these guns. But it was cool, man, because Forte was like really impressed.
Yeah.
He was really impressed. He was like, "Damn, that was a venue, man. That was really nice. We're sitting there talking and having a ball, smoking and just chilling for a little bit. And then we got to talking about, hey, how much does it cost to actually get you on a song?" He's like, we're gonna have to negotiate. Pulls out this big old stack of weed. And he's like, "Dude, you just call me. We'll just make an album together." I was like, "Hey man, brother, let's do it." I was like, and that's Wally weed, man. That's guaranteed.
You know what's funny about that though, man? Is like being when you're actually like from the hood and you're gritty and you network with those kind of people. The venues know it was hard for us to get shows at first. Like we know what kind of crew you guys hang out with. Like, bro, we work at a church, man. We work with kids. But yeah, so, to get those events put together was already a mission. And that's also part of the reach out. It's like,
right.
It's hard for people to put stuff together, man.
So you guys were saying that it's kind of dried up a little bit too. What would be the reason for? I feel like out here, the 2020 pandemic, like a lot of places couldn't hold on. So I know that was a big issue. And then once those places went away, or but the places that stayed open that used to book anybody, they would book. You could just even if you did good business with them at one point, say, "Hey, can I get a show?" They'll be like, "Oh, we got 7 holds in front of you," and it's like, "Yo, 7?"
Like, they're the ones getting the artists. So
yeah.
That's it. That's what we run into all the time too. I was like, "What are you guys doing for local business?" You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How are you guys trying to reach out to them? And we gotta be bold. We gotta kind of like, I don't know. Every time I apply for a job, I call them every day.
You gotta do that with the venues.
Every day.
You gotta do that.
I showed up and I was like, "Hey, give me a job." And I think that's what we gotta do.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, I'm worth it. I'm willing to grind. If you want to, give me a chance, I'm gonna show you what I can do.
I mean, but the problem really is out of the scene's hands. It's more out here. It's more of the city. Like they have really strict, rules on what kind of venues can play, how much hip hop. Like I believe it's actually, if you play more than 33% hip hop, you're considered a high risk venue.
Yeah.
Because of the demographic.
Wow.
And a lot of our places get shut down, and then the places that are left and pay those extra, insurance fees are like, Baltic Room and Trinity, like the places that are considered
piece of the playpen.
Yeah. And then
and what size are these rooms? Are these like 600, 700? Like, what's the cap on these rooms?
The biggest one was Studio 7 that everybody went to around here, and that's about 900 capacity. And they just waited. They kept letting stuff happen to where they could get excuses, and then somebody got in a fight. They blamed it on the artist. The artist didn't even know the guys that were, shout out to Monster. He's a legend out here, and it wasn't even, they just kind of put it on the artist so that they could make that excuse like, hey, we're exclusively going to do EDM style stuff here now. We're not going to hip hop. And it's just crazy how much they shut us out,
I want to say it was really just the era, because even Mally was speaking about it like that 2009, like right after that hit. But like I remember in Olympia, it'd be like E40 would be your Friday, Corrupt would be there that same day, different venues. Now it's like we might get one of them in 3 years.
Well, I mean, and not to put anybody on blast, but a lot of these venues, their in-house promoters and managers are the ones that are like, you know, if you come with them, like, hey, I want to bring Twista into town. This is what's happened to a lot of cats. I want to bring Twista in. How they'll ask you the details. How much is the show? What is this? And then they'll call and outbid you, and they'll just cut you out. That's what happens a lot of times. Is venues aren't partnering with nobody local. They just want to cut us out and do that 100% in-house. You know, and because they can do that. You know, where are we going to host shows unless we pay that? You know, not going to say the venue name, but $1,500 a night, and you don't even get the staff. Like, what kind of local cat can afford to do that?
Nah, but the promoter is so important, though.
Yeah, it definitely.
Speaking of promotions, we got to get to the show and tell portion of the show. And we already mentioned Definition Infinity Media, but you also have some other subsidiaries, including Blue Clef Music.
That's actually my business.
That's your music.
Yeah, that's pretty much where we
him and the chef.
Okay, so this is how it goes. We've been doing the music thing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And Julian, Spade comes up to me.
He's
like, hey, why don't you start a business? I'm like, that's too much work, bro. It's just, he's like, no, it's easy. All you got to do is go into this website, apply, and you'll already have a license. You just got to pay like $75. But it's not that easy, bro. It's not that easy. He was like, no, it is. And I signed up, and I was like, okay, so I guess it's a lot easier than I thought. I was like, no, what? Yeah. All right, Blue Clef Music. This is what we're gonna do. My cousin and I, he's the producer. I help out, I record, and I kind of direct. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Where the song's gonna go, or if they want to throw layers on there, I'll show them how to I'll just give them like a beat to follow. Like, hey, try and do it like da 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 da, and they kind of improv. They figure out how to like make their sound a little bit more improved on whatever layers or anything. A lot of people come into the studio and they want direction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They come to the studio and they want direction. They don't want you to just sit there and be like, yeah, dope. On to the next. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to feel the music. You know, music is a big part of what I do. So if I'm listening to music, I want to find a way to add to it. You know, add a little splash. If you don't like it, fine. You know, it's just you don't have to be in that direction. But I'll give you some ideas and maybe you can spice it up a little bit, add a little bit more character to what you're trying to do.
Nice. And then we got Herb House.
Oh yeah, that's my
Herb House United.
Herb House. Yeah. So I mean, I'm just really, into the I guess the politics behind it. Like I believe it should be legalized. I believe that it can help people, stuff like that. That's something I'm passionate about. So basically we all, we're not the only two partners in the company. We each have our own brand that we all build together within the company. We offer the services together as a group. So, if I do visuals or, our partner QP does the videos and, Conclusion does the audio engineering, Chef Beats to make you a beat, you can, come to us one-on-one and we can, network and, give each other clientele or it can be a one-stop shop. You can get the video, the beat, everything done in the same house, and it's going to be, how you want it. We're not trying to force anything on anybody. We're trying to help everybody develop their craft. If you got a sound, how it sounds in your head, we're going to try to make that manifest and get that on the record.
Nice. And then we got Lit Originals.
That's our partner, QP. That's his brand. He does all the merchandise.
I love the logos, man.
Oh, that's our Cambodian partner, man. Some of his merch, he got the temples and the onglok, everything, bro. That's fire. That's fire.
Everything, man.
Yeah, his brand is.
I'm gonna holler at him for like a cover or something, man.
He's
up, man. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Speaking of t-shirts, Mally's got merch for the album, of course, and you can see some of that, some sweatshirts, some shirts. We got the vinyl, we got the CD, and
hey, those vinyl cases are clean.
Right.
Yeah, I got a little bit of everything. For the new record, my guy Keith Williams, he's originally from where is he from? He's from Kansas, but he's been in the Twin Cities for the last 15, 20 years, and I've been working with him for the last 12 or so on out all like the last 4 or 5 projects I've done. He's done the album artwork, the whole merch collection and everything. He does something different every time. He's dope. He's super dope. So
yeah, it came out.
I rock with the gear, man, and it's definitely like on brand for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And to answer in the comments section to buy, just go to it's MallyMPLS.com, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, there you go. Chef can buy the vinyl at Mally MPLS for that there. Our guy OG Mambo, he just dropped a project, Almost Missed My Flight with DJ Holiday. Yeah, that's out. You can go check that out in all streaming platforms. And there's a couple of videos that they're available from that as well. So go check out OG Mambo's project, Almost Missed My Flight, right there. And we come up on another commercial break. So we got a new joint from Leisha, a new joint from London Town. And this one is called Therapy off of the album Affirmations to Reality. So check out this new one from London, Alicia's joint Therapy. And we'll be right back with another half an hour, man. It's coming by so quick with Mally, Conclusion, and Spade right here on Fresh Juice, Rainier Avenue Radio. Let's go to London.
I need to re-up on my energy. I've been going through a lot. I use this music as therapy. Therapy took me on a journey to show me where I've been and where I want to be. Looking deep within to find a remedy. Healing ain't linear, no, it's not a straight line. It's full of ups and downs, but it's a great climb. I'm getting different views, I've got a new perspective. Flipping all my downfalls into lessons and turning all my battles into weapons. Now I'm ready for war. Armed and I'm sure and I'm clued up like never before. So I'm knocking now, I'm kicking down doors. In this life you gotta take what is yours. Can't be basic waiting, procrastinating. You gotta be sure, is this what you want? Cause if it is, you gotta get it. One life, tell me how you wanna spend it. Cause I ain't trying to blend in. I have anxiety, but when I step in, you know that I have stepped in. Cause I'm walking with a purpose and a presence. My intuition's always been my blessing. I've been on goal mode, yeah, I'm hardly resting. I'm up studying life because the world is always testing me, trying to be a better me. I've always felt alone, although I'm not alone. I've always been a stranger in my home, and distance is the only love I've ever known. So distance is the only love I've ever shown, and I'm still hurting though I've grown, and I'm still grounded though I've flown. I need to re-up on my energy. I've been going through a lot. I use this music as therapy. Therapy took me on a journey to show me where I've been and where I wanna be. Looking deep within to find a remedy. Healing ain't linear, no, it's not a straight line. It's full of ups and downs, but it's a great climb. I'm getting different views, I've got a new perspective. Flipping all my downfalls into lessons and turning all my battles into weapons. When I was 15, I had my first therapist, Jane. She had to get to the bottom of why I smoked Mary J at such an age. What do you mean when you say Leisha Land Wave? It's my escape, my hideaway, my safe space. And why you skipping school and breaking rules? Tell me why you do the things you do. So much life to live, why would you try and OD? I could feel the weight of the world, it was on me. And every time I pulled up to school, they were on me. So when I got home, they're on me. I can't breathe, man, I'm suffocated. Do you have any tips on how to escape it? I've been labelled as the bad kid, so I thought I'd never have it. Getting faded was my habit, yeah, my pastime. I'm trying to slow the racing thoughts, they're doing double time. Looking for peace of mind. I didn't know later down the line that I'd be fine. So now I'm grateful that they saved my life. I need to re-up on my energy. I've been going through a lot. I use this music as therapy. Therapy took me on a journey to show me where I've been and where I wanna be. Looking deep within to find a remedy. Healing ain't linear, no, it's not a straight line. It's full of ups and downs, but it's a great climb. I'm getting different views, I've got a new perspective. Flipping all my downfalls into lessons and turning all my battles into weapons. Need to re-up on my energy. I've been going through a lot. I use this music as therapy. Therapy took me on a journey to show me where I've been and where I wanna be. Looking deep within to find a remedy. Healing ain't linear, no, it's not a straight line. It's full of ups and downs, but it's a great climb. I'm getting different views, I've got a new perspective. Flipping all my downfalls into lessons and turning all my battles into weapons.
Yo, this is Heretic the Heathen representing Forum C's Biome C's, and you are now listening to Fresh Juice on Rainier Ave Radio with the Juice Pack. That's D Money, Pint Size Patron, and OG Mambo. Tap in, yo.
Alright, looking for a shorty with the best measures. Know her way around the head like a hairdresser. Just think of me when you hear the word free. Walking slow-mo cause I ain't pressed, don't know where to be. They be asking who the greatest, I ain't thinking of the answer. Thinking about my mother life and why she fighting cancer. Talking black issues to a sea of white hands up. You looking at a boss, Tony Danza. Living no handcuffs, foundation said ain't missed the stance up. Aim to be a legend every stanza. Handsome, know they all looking. Hibachi, how they watch your boy cook it. Idolize the greats out of Brooklyn. Still hearing lessons in a chair, getting tapers. Boy, this is flavor. Still about the paper. Middle finger waving like a neighbor to a hater. I'ma act a whole donkey if they give me 40 acres. Read books, love water, love my city, okay? Rebuild and still working till we all okay. If I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, what y'all gonna say? No drama, life's quiet, I ain't caught no case. No designer shirts, hype don't define the worth. Yeah, this is light work, Mally been divine as birth. Quality is what they gon' say about my life's work. Early in the morning when I yawn, me and God converse. Dressed up to write a verse, fireworks, yeah. I'm naturally high, never like the earth. Go 100 on the dash and a tire skirt. Happy where I'm headed, like the sweet diabetic, no regret.
Fresh Juice, Rainier Avenue Radio. That's Mally right there. And last word, the sweetest of the all is the project. Of it all is the project. And New Year, New Wave is the name of the song.
That joint smooth too, man.
Thank you.
That makes me want to ask, like, where do y'all do your best writing?
You want to know? In the car.
In the car.
In the car. Yeah.
It's like 3:00 in the morning.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's fact. On the way to work is like underrated for sure.
If I got the right beat in the car, and I think of something like, damn, I can't write right now. I gotta repeat it so I can memorize it.
Do you ever use the voice memos? The voice memos can save a life.
No.
Nah, because I try too hard and I'll crash. I gotta just.
What about you, Mally?
It's like,
oh man. Oh, you know what? I don't do the voice memo, but I just do a video recording of like the dash, and I beatbox. If I got a beat in my head, yeah.
I typically work out ideas. I don't. I'll like hum like the melody of a chorus with the beat playing in the background of a voice memo, kind of get the idea going, and then kind of mess with it from there. And then if I like run into a roadblock, I've learned that when I step away from it and go do something else, for whatever reason, motion like makes things come up. Like if I go to the gym, if I say like, oh, forget this, I'm gonna go do something else. I go like walk on the treadmill for an hour, and then I'll think of a line, and then I'm like, okay, cool. I'll come back to it and piece it all together at the end. But yeah, I don't have a specific place and space anymore because I've tried to do the whole regimented.
Yeah,
let me sit in the same spot and write at 9 a.m.
Well, that was the next thing I was gonna ask is how has it evolved for both of you guys? So has your writing process been something where you developed it and you stuck with it, or is it something that over time you're like, oh, I'm gonna do it this way, I'm gonna do it that way, until you kind of find your own little niche way of how you're gonna operate? Or maybe a couple different ways that you can operate, because that's how it is for me. Like I've evolved it to where I'm either gonna just sit down and duck off, hear the beat once, turn it off, and I can just write, or I'm kind of working through it in like a writing process with a writer's team. You know what I mean? Kind of building it out with the production team around that. So how you guys developed it and elevated it?
I do it a lot like Mally did. You know, I'll think pretty much. I think of tones. I got a lot of tones in my head, and I'll just kind of think of tones. And then I start to finally tune those tones, and then a masterpiece starts to happen. You know, it's nothing where I'm stuck on a particular sound. Is that I'm always trying to evolve the sound. I'm always trying to add something, some new aspect or some new thing.
I can dig it.
Gives me something that I'm going to move forward on.
Ideas, yeah.
It's just for me, it's got to be something different every time, and that's what people tend to love to do. You know, they're like, oh, that's different. Let's try that out. And I'm like, let's evolve that way. I just want to see what my limitations are.
Yeah, that keeps the process fun too. You know what I mean? Like I think I've gotten out of my way a lot. Like especially with this most recent project, I just didn't overthink anything. I just said whatever comes to me for this particular. And I've gotten to I'll say the biggest learning from any other thing I've made in the past is I don't try to write to everything anymore. Like I'm not feeling the beat anymore. If I'm not feeling the production, I'm moving on to the next thing. I used to force myself to try to write to everything because I always thought, let me just write to everything. If I don't, I'm tripping. But I was like, no, if I'm not feeling it and it's not inspiring a conversation lyrically, I'm not touching it, because like
there's no laxative for that, man.
At all.
Come out that way. There's nothing that's gonna release that.
And you don't want to be angry and mad. Like that's the thing too, is I feel like if you find yourself getting upset and frustrated in the writing process, it's like either the beat sucks or it's time to just step away for a minute, and that's cool. I think that there's been like so much social media like rapper rules that we see sometimes. You know, it's like, oh, just do this every day for an hour and you'll be good. It's like it don't work like that for everybody.
Not at
all.
No.
Man, not to go a whole 180 on the show, but earlier on, Mally, I wanted to squeeze in this question about we almost got to it about touring, and I'm sure through the experiences you've had a lot of fun experiences with fans.
Oh man, like yo, like this the one, if any of you have toured, whether it's regionally, nationally, internationally, you meet everybody in the world. Like
yes,
like touring is like going to the post office, or like going to the grocery store. You see every bit of America in those places, right? Like or the B&B, where you just see everybody. You see like people with money, people who don't got money, people who are in the middle, some people a little off, people talk, like you see like everybody on tour, and people I think that come to those shows on tour are like for one, they're super dedicated.
Yeah,
they love music, they want to connect with the artist. But then I think there's also that other aspect of some people, like they feel entitled because they bought a ticket to the show, so they feel like they can talk to you for the whole show.
Right.
They have all of these elaborate stories about how they first heard about you. You know what I mean? And then then there's the next level of certain people who like start tattooing, you know, their favorite artist's name and face, and they take it to the next level. But this isn't even like a fan story. I remember I was in La Jolla, San Diego, La Jolla, and I forgot the name of the venue. But anyway, the tour manager, he's basically, you know, advancing the show, and another guy that was, I guess, a different tour manager for another group, I guess he wanted to try to get his guys on the show that I was on. It was for a Brother Ali tour at the time. And my tour manager was like, no, we have who we have. We're not doing any more openers. We got Mally opening and hosting. We got Bamboo. Shout out to Bamboo. We got Ali. We got Ali headlining. The other tour manager tells my tour manager, he's like, yo, man, I'll eat your groceries. I'm keeping it clean.
I got 2 cheeseburgers.
Yo,
and base.
He told him, I'll eat your groceries, man. Like, and was following my guy around for a good 30 minutes. And my guy was like, nope. You're not opening. Nobody's
That's a rock
opening.
solid tour manager right there.
What you wait, hold on. What do you mean, rock solid? Would you have folded? I'm just trying to
Hell no, but you're in the industry. You never know. You're on tour. He might just switch up on you. He might wish he couldn't remember the nightmares, man.
Good recall. Good recall.
That's the thing, though. You can't choose your fan base.
Yeah.
At all.
Right about that. I remember I had this dude that was following my battles tough, and he was. I remember he used to send me beats and all that. We was cool, but I think he might have been a Trump supporter and like a little bit too on the right.
The truck was too
It was just uncomfortable.
I actually on my plane ride back from Miami, I had an interesting conversation with the person next to me who happens to be on Trump's campaign management team.
What? Wow. What a plane ride.
What an opportunity. What'd you ask?
I asked if we were losing TikTok. I don't think that's going away. We should be all right with that.
Crucial information, right?
I mean, it was a critical first question. If we're gonna be in the room with the guys, right? We want to know.
Nothing on trade, race relations. He's like, are we losing TikTok?
I heard the other day that he was talking in a thing about canceling daylight savings time.
Man.
The fact that he conceptually believes he has the power to do something like that.
I'm not mad at that one. Keep it light. Sometimes, man, people got to walk home alone. You can't have it that dark that early. I'm just saying, man. You know.
Yeah. If we start shifting stuff like that, man, the Constitution is in danger. I'll just tell you that.
Right about that.
But the Second Amendment will always be there.
Oh, hey.
If it changes, I'm not playing. Hey man, Mambo for president though. I feel like good decisions behind those words.
Right.
Hey man, I support the movement. I honestly don't know if I want that type of pressure, but I love the love, man. I'll accept all forms of love. And you know what? I think, and like I'll be telling this to the homies. Actually, I was actually talking about this with the dude on the plane. Like, being the president is cool and all, but like there's senators that have been senators since like '94, bro. Like, I think I want to be one of those guys.
Right. Old and you're still in politics, bro.
That's backup quarterback position. Backup quarterback. That's you don't have to do nothing.
You don't do anything, and you sign me for $6.9 million. Oh yeah, let's do it.
Oh yeah, and the Supreme Court doesn't even have to run. They get the seat for the rest of their life.
You can do all kinds of stuff as a mayor. They don't care.
Yeah, right. So I'm saying. If I was gonna take a job, but give me one of those high ups where they can't get fired type things, like they're tenured in there.
The law type stuff, right?
Right.
Shouts out to Bruce Harrell though of Seattle, man. I see him on an Island Soul every now and then, man. But earlier on, there was something I wanted to ask Conclusion in Spade from. I saw that you guys got involved with Redman's Katana Fest.
Oh yeah, we was working with Scott McKinley and a bunch of good folks over there. I mean, every single person there that was there representing their brand was just amazing.
Was really cool.
Forward thinking people about we were talking about legalizing cannabis and all the raw laws and stuff, politics behind that. These guys are at the forefront, really trying to make changes.
Nice.
I believe it was the Cannabis Workers Union that was actually putting everything together. So shout out to everybody.
How'd you guys get the call for that one?
I mean, it's just same thing with Patron and Fresh Juice. It's like, a lot of these guys that you see really in motion and moving and doing a lot of big things, which it makes us proud, is like they got a lot of their, first collaborations was with us, back in the days. And it's just like to see everybody
Still
how they are now,
real, though.
and
still in the game. It's like, dude, networking has become so much more easier.
And everybody has their own stuff now. So it's like we're offering services that, can work in everybody's favor and we can help them out that where we couldn't back in the day, and that's what it's about.
We brought barter back to the game. So, you know what I'm saying?
This might be the
barter system.
This might be the dopest comment of the show. High in Arizona said marijuana.
Amen.
Shout out to Arizona, man.
One of a kind, for sure. I like to think of Arizona as like the Florida of the West Coast. You know what I mean? They like hold it down.
You're not lying. You're not lying.
You can't go outside without your shoes melting.
Speaking of places, favorite tour stops for you, Mally?
2 years ago, I toured with Ali. I would say out of all of the stops, my favorites, as far as like crowd and just energy, Utah, Salt Lake City was dope. And I'm just going off a crowd reaction.
Sure.
Salt Lake City. Where else? Portland is always great. Seattle it depends. It's weird because like the few times I've been out there, like 2 of the times Seattle was super great, and then the most recent time, I think it was because it was like a late show and folks might have been a little tired. But like Chicago's always dope. Philly is always fire. Where else? Where else would be a really?
I was going to ask if you've done Olympia.
Nah, I haven't. But I haven't done Olympia before. Just Seattle. Yep, just done.
Honestly, you
Oh,
probably
and in Spokane, actually done Spokane. And Spokane, funny enough,
Okay.
that was like a 400-person show, but wherever we played at, it was cracking. Like,
nice.
Ali's fans are like,
Never been.
that's man, like it's just so
Was that the
dope.
knitting factory where you did that?
You know what? I'd have to look at the tour
college
schedule.
spot, yeah.
I would have to look at the schedule, but yeah, Spokane was fire. Seattle, like the Southwest is fire.
Yeah.
Fresno was dope.
Fresno,
yeah, like Fresno was fire. Albuquerque, the whole Southwest and the whole West Coast is just great. Like you can't lose. The East Coast is tough.
Yeah.
The East Coast is tough, but the East Coast is good, is dope at the same time. But the West Coast, the Midwest, and certain sections of the South is fire. I like everywhere. DC though, like DC was tough. Like DC is a tough crowd. Like DC is a tough crowd.
Yeah, I get it. I
In
get it.
Minneapolis, what's the next biggest market? In close.
Say that again.
In Minneapolis, what's the closest market? What's the next biggest?
Oh, definitely like Illinois and Madison. Yeah, you could and that's Wisconsin. So you could definitely say like Madison, Wisconsin, Chicago, Illinois. Where else? And you got the Dakotas.
Is there anything else in Minnesota?
You know what? Well, it depends on who you are. I would say like Rochester. So these are like all like kind of the more rural sections. So like regionally, there's Rochester, there's Mankato, there's Duluth. But those are the more, I guess you could say like the college town.
That's what Spokane is for us too. Like Spokane, Pullman, it's the same type of thing. So that's why it gets kind of lit like that, because it's a little bit more consolidated. What I've always noticed, like for the people who go to Wazoo and go to UW, when you're at Wazoo over there on the east side of the mountain, there's only so much to do besides the college campus. In Seattle, you kind of have the gift and the curse of you could go to Capitol Hill, downtown, this place, that. You don't have to be on campus and have a good time. So it kind of takes away from the college vibe a little bit too. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we got 3 minutes left in the show, so we got to get to our closing duties. We're going to give you guys the opportunity to suggest a guest for us to book on this program, someone you actually have worked with personally and actually can refer to us.
Maybe you toured with them before. You never know.
Conclusion. Who can you suggest for us?
Actually, Lafayette.
Yeah,
she's dope.
Okay.
About to do a show with her.
Okay.
Sometime. Oh, sorry, excuse me. About to do a show with her on February 15th.
February 15th?
Yeah.
Okay. And Spade, who you got for us?
Man, I think you guys have already had on Yak and them. And,
Yak Nasty.
Yeah, I know you guys just had on my little bro, T. Siva, South End Siva.
South End Siva.
I would have to say, man, if you guys don't know Nate Jers,
Nate Jers,
him and his group, Black Society, man, they running doing a lot with the venue out in Tacoma, the Cocoa Bar and Grill. So every weekend they do open mics and give opportunities for artists to come out, and it's one of the last places doing that. That's just like we'll invite you out, come out, show us what you got. So I think it'd be real good for you guys to get them on here and see everything they're doing, and they're working with DJ Gers. You know what I'm saying? So
Jersey, yeah.
So it's they're making it happen with what they got, and it's not easy nowadays.
All right, and who you got for us, Mally?
I'm gonna switch it up a little bit outside of the Twin Cities. I think it would be dope to have E-Turn. She's from Orlando.
E-Turn.
Yeah.
Orlando?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's short for Eternal, but
nice.
I've had the chance of performing with her and connecting with her over the years, and she's just out here grinding and performing. So she's dope. So I think she'll be a good guest to have on the show.
Nice.
And she's got a good sense of humor. So a lot of the questions and things I think she would.
I like that.
So
I like that. All right. So we usually call this final words, but we'll say last word because that's your guy, Mally. Anyway, last word. Anything you want to say before we go? Conclusion.
Appreciate you allowing me to be here. My bad for the one last word. But
yeah,
appreciate y'all.
Spade.
One last word, just one word.
Well, it could be a sentence or a couple sentences.
We'll just say everybody keep
style.
yeah. I mean, everybody just keep working together.
Right.
Just keep networking, keep
Salute.
collaborating. You know, if you got a dope song and you're looking for somebody to get on it, don't just look at the same group. Don't just look at your friends. Reach out. You know, see who can make something, you know, the best product with you.
All right. And Mally, your last word.
Yeah, I would say continue to just make music, create from the heart. You know, be yourself at all times, and make sure you go get the sweetest of it all, the new album, MallyMPLS.com. And also just shout out to everybody from D Money, Pint Size, Conclusion, Spade, Mambo, everybody. So, and everybody that tuned in to Fresh Juice. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you too, man. All right, we're gonna be off the next couple of weeks. It's holiday season.
Holiday season. Hey,
Merry
man, almost
Christmas,
missed my
everybody.
flight is out now. We got shows in Portland. There's a show on Monday. We still doing things, but you won't be able to see us here, man. Hey, go watch that Patron battle on YouTube. That's what I'm finna be doing.
Merry Christmas in advance. Happy New Year. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. It'll be January 8th, and we'll bring back Only One Wiser to kick off the year, man.
Come on, man. Very Christy way to start the year.
Christy way, ain't it? The 731st episode will be our first show of 2025 on January 8th. So looking forward to Only One Wiser coming in, holding down for a full show. All right. As always, Facebook, go there. That's everything. Keep with us. Facebook.com/groups/Fresh Juice Media. IG, X, and Twitter. We're there. Fresh Juice Media. YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. YouTube.com/@Fresh Juice Media. Like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell. And if you ring the bell, you get all Fresh Juice content first. We do live shows for you almost every week. You can watch it whenever you want. And we do shorter YouTube shorts on the daily that you can watch there as well from previous episodes. So go ahead. YouTube.com/@Fresh Juice Media. Put it in your browser, get you set up for that. As always, we are syndicated on Blazing 420 Radio. Shouts out to them. This show will be heard there as well. And you can hear me doing some DJing on Traffic Jam. And that's tomorrow. Cream the Dream is back after a couple of weeks. And you can catch it right here on Rainier Avenue Radio from 4 to 5:30 tomorrow. I'll be providing the music. Some of the music you heard tonight, some other mainstream music as well. So Traffic Jam on Rainier Ave. Again, Rainier Ave listeners, I believe next week for Christmas, all Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday shows will be canceled. So there you go. We appreciate everybody for tuning in to another edition of Fresh Juice. Peace and bless. We out.